Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and Modest here in the flesh. Just really quickly, I want to go ahead and show you, I think, something pretty exciting. It's a pretty big box. It's nothing that you might expect to see from me, but I think you're going to enjoy this unboxing of this new kit. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. So this kit that I purchased, probably about a few months ago. Today, right now, is the 15th of May, 2026. And it comes from Andy's Hobby Headquarters over in Glendale, Arizona. It's a new shop that he just, well, not even a shop. It's actually a warehouse that he was just been able to acquire about a little bit over a year ago from this point right now, that I actually went to go visit. And if you are ever in the Glendale, Arizona area, you should really check this out. It's a vast warehouse that you can walk in, purchase stuff, order from mail order. It's a great place. Andy's a great guy, pretty friendly person. He actually does a lot of YouTube videos. Anyways, so I got this kit that I just saw as a pre-order way back at the beginning of this year. So let's take a look at what we have here. So what is this kit that I ordered? Obviously, it's something that my wife often asks, what did you get now? Okay, so it is a very large box, and it is a Takom 1/35th scale M28A1-A2 super assault tank. I saw this guy, and I was going, oh man, that is one hell of a tank there. And I'm coming by and show you an unboxing of what this guy looks like, so that way you could take a look and see what this is. So really quickly, let me just show you the dimensions of this box. So let me go ahead and show you that just with a tape measure here, just to get this thing centered up. She is about 18 inches across by about 4 3/4 inches tall, with a depth of about close to 11.5 inches. I'll try to put that all in metric to you. But it comes very well shipped by Andy, really well packaged, no issues, no problems. But it does not have that plastic covering, which was, okay, all right, no worries. But let's take a look at the outside. As you can see, it's a very nice box art that we have of this tank. You can see this tank, this fictitious tank. Well, it's not fictitious, actually. It's a tank that was a prototype that was built by the US Army back in the late 1940s, 45 actually. And by the time this tank was getting ready to be deployed, the war was winding down in Europe, and there was really no reason to have this kind of a tank being deployed in the European theaters, let alone in the islands of the Pacific Ocean. So this was a very large tank. I believe it's about 70 tons, but we'll get more into the dimensions of the actual tank itself. As I said, really nice box art, cool looking camouflage, and a winter camouflage that you see here with what looks like a German Tiger tank that's over there that's been blasted out. Okay, maybe he's still fighting the war against the Germans. But also on the side, it gives you some ideas of what to paint this guy. Oh, interesting. Okay, so they have this guy over here in Kamchatka Peninsula, which is actually over in the Russian territories. Might have been part of Japan, maybe, who knows? And landing in Incheon, Korea in 1954. I gotta look that up. I gotta see that. Okay, so, but it shows here in this Poland and Berlin winter schemes that we have here that are in of the box. That the major shows it a size, shows it a model number from Takom, obviously. On the other side shows you pretty much the trees, the sprues that we have. We have some clear parts here, a metal barrel, cool beans, a little tiny piece of photo edge, some decent decals, and nine pieces, nine pieces of individual link tracks. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And then, of course, the other side is not a big sweat. So let's take a look at what this guy looks like on the inside. So after removing the box cover, as you can see, this thing is just chock full of plastic all the way up to the brim of the box itself. And we're going to come by and show you the trees. I'm not going to take them out of the plastic right now, but I just want to give you an idea of what this thing contains on the inside. So let's take a look at that right now. So as I'm reading over the instructions here, that I'll show you just a short moment. In September 43, U.S. Army began this program of a heavily armored combat vehicle to penetrate heavy fortifications. In March 44, after extensive consultation, discussion, subcommittees, the Army authorized procurement of the vehicles designated as a heavy tank T-28. Just to go on further, with the war in the Pacific coming to an end, shortly afterward, the number of the pilot vehicles were reduced from 5 units to only 2. The history that I know of is that one of these tanks that was being tested in Aberdeen, Texas, in the proving grounds over there, caught on fire and pretty much destroyed a tank from the, I believe, an engine compartment fire. The other one is still was saved as a second pilot vehicle, and it got transferred to Yuma, Arizona for other trials. But now it's on display. It's on display. But let's take a look at the kit and see what we have. So open up that first tree inside these individual package bags. That's very well protected, but a lot of fine parts to this. This is sprue J, as you can see, and it shows what it looks like to be the external components, the fuel tanks that this big tank was carrying, the mallet that's over here, that looks pretty well textured. I can feel some roughness to this. And if we take a look at this a little bit closer, you might be able to see a little bit of that roughness of the tank itself. Some very fine, what looks like supporting parts. So be very careful while opening this. And of course, many different smaller parts, oh my gosh, for this kit. So just to be aware of that. Like I said, I'm not going to remove all the plastic from all the bags. It'll just take too much time for me to reload it, but I'll show that to you at another time. Here's another sprue. I believe this is sprue E, so you can kind of see over there in the corner there. And it shows the side panels. Understand that this tank, from what I've read, is a dual track, two-sided track. There's 2 tracks on either side of the tank there. Gives us 4 tracks total to measure out the weight, to distribute the weight evenly of this very heavy 90-ton tank. Not 75 as I first thought. It's a 90-ton tank. Anyways, the side panels can be removed on the real tank. We'll see if we could do that on this model tank. But those side panels are able to be removed and separated from the rest of the tank to actually transport this tank via train to different locations, while the other 2 larger tracks here, they both go in the back end of the tank and secured with tow cables on the front, from the back end of the tank to the 2 other tracks to actually make this very long tracked tank that we have here to transport to trains. So it's pretty impressive. You got to see what I'm talking about. Hopefully I'll be able to show that to you once I complete this model. Anyways, moving on, we have another set of trees here. This is what looks like sprue G. And G, there's 2 sets of these. It looks like the running gear. Not sure what all these little guys down here are. Just very perplexing. But you can see the shock absorbers, some of the shock absorbers here. This looks like other shock absorbers here as well. The running gears that we have, obviously for the track. So this might be for the track stuff. We'll see. Continuing on, you have, oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4 sprues of letter F, 4 sprues of F, and these are all your road wheels and suspension and return rollers and a bunch of small parts over here on the top, which I'm not too sure about. But these are all the road wheels, and you got 4 trees of these. So those of you who are wondering about building tanks and having all those road wheels, you're going to have a major project with that. The next trees that we have, again, it's just another mallet. I'm not sure what that mallet is, but it looks like engine covers, storage compartments here. This looks like the gun being able to elevate back and forth, the muzzle brake. This is sprue D. I'm sure you can see that. There we go, sprue D there. So very interesting. I don't know why we have 2 mallets. Probably because we have 2 barrels. We'll see in a moment. Here's the next sprue that I was able to get out from the box. This is sprue C, and this shows the hull of the tank, which doesn't seem too impressive. I mean, it doesn't look very large, but I'm sure this thing is right of a son of a gun. And with that muzzle barrel out there jutting out, I'm sure it's going to be a very impressive model. But this is it. That looks like the front end of the tank there. Bottom plate. I can't really tell if there's any texture out there without me removing it. But again, that's a review. But as you can see, it's nice. It's crisp looking. There's no flash at all. So it looks really clean. Looks really clean. Well, it better be. Takom just came out with this. Next sprue, sprue V. I've never seen it go to V before. Shows a lot of small parts. I'm not too sure. Okay, well, there's a 50 cal there. Probably the tops of the turret. There was a turret. It's just the top of the gun itself, top of the tank. Not too sure. Those are torsion bars down here at the bottom. They could very well be. You have your tool sets up here. Looks like an air filter right over here, right where my finger's pointing to, and other small bits. Next tree is tree B, Bravo, and it shows some other sides of the tank itself. As you can see, there's very few, as I'm looking through this, through the plastic. Well, you know what? Let's open this guy up. What the heck? I'm going to open this puppy up. As you can see, it comes in that individual plastic, which is really cool. Takom, good job on doing that. Let's just set that aside. And as you can see, I don't see any pin marks, ejection pin marks. There's obviously a detailed section. You got a lot of these little placement anchors right where my thumb is. Some really nice, good looking detailed, the rivets and whatnots. Okay, so over here we do have some. There's some ejection marks over here. But it looks like that's going to be the internal part where you're not going to be able to see that much at all. So you got a lot of ejection pin marks on here. But again, you're probably going to get that hidden. This could be like the front top portion of the tank's tracks. Excuse me for bumping that phone again. So with accessories that are up here. So if that's the case, you're not going to see those pin marks at all over here on the underside. Okay, but looks pretty cool. And the last part, let's take a look. So the last part, oh my God, jeepers, is sprue H. H for a holy cow. Because you got, I'm going to open this one up because this is all the tracks. Oh, dear Lord. Let's just lay that down. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these sprues. 9 of these sprues. And as you can see, it's, oh God, I hope that's together. Yeah, it looks like it's together. You got these pads that are here. All over here, where my hand is. All over where my hand is. And And at first I thought they were individual pads, which would have been a nightmare for me to build. But here's your connection links to those pads. Not too sure what these guys are over here on the top. But you do have a jig. You do have a small jig, a very small one. But with 9 pieces, my God, I cannot imagine what that's going to be like. This will actually be a separate process of building these tracks. There's no way in hell someone's going to come by and do all of the tracks in one day. I would strongly recommend, otherwise you'll go insane, building like maybe 150 tracks at a time and then connecting those guys later on. But that's a lot of tracks. I got to look at those instructions and see how many there are. So let's take a look at those instructions next. But nine sprues, jeez. But before I put that one sprue away, I will do a quick review. As you can see, the sprues, there's no flash on these guys at all. Very few pin marks. Let's get that focus, there we go. What looks like the snow tread pad and the regular pad that we have here. It's just incredible. It's just mind-blowing. I'm really blown away about all those tracks. And on the back side, you can see where we connect them. Here's the pin side, and here's the other side. Oh my gosh, please don't tell me they're individual. I bet you they are. I bet you they are. Wow. What a freaking nightmare that's going to be. These are all individual. You got to remove that middle post, it looks like. Because there's no way you're going to fit that guy on top of this guy and connect them together. You see what I mean? You have these pins here, and you have these connections here. And you got this thing right there in the middle. This part that I'm picking at right here. So that you got to remove that. Ay, what did I do? What did I do? I bought this big tank. Anyways, so yeah, that's a lot of sprue. A lot of plastic. Okay, moving on to the instructions. Okay, so the instructions, okay? Again, individually packaged there. As you can obviously here, oh my gosh, right there at the bottom, you don't have one, but you got 2 barrels. I gotta look to see what the difference is. I'm sure one of them is obviously a bigger diameter barrel for whatever use. You got your clear parts, like I said, a little bit of PE, some of your decals over there. Okay, so let's unbox this thing and see what this looks like. Okay, so moving on, like I said, to the instructions. Very quickly, as I'm looking at the barrels, yeah, there are 2 different barrels, 2 different lengths. I'm not sure one is bigger, but you can see from the back end how one is a bigger diameter than the other. So these are obviously 2 different barrels. And we'll talk more on how to prep these and how to paint these as I'm doing the build, because metal barrels, they're not like plastic, okay? You got to really prep these guys up because of the metal that it's made from. It's not like photo etch. We could just spray it with the paint. As I mentioned to you, we have some clear parts here. I'm not going to go over them too quickly, but you also have this copper wire, copper line that we have here. Not sure what that's for. That's a big line. That's way too thin for towing cables for such a large tank. As I already mentioned to you, a little piece of photo etch. Oh, how cute. It's so cute, little piece of photo etch for your model here. I'm thinking they're the fuel tank connections. That's the only thing I can think of. Set of decals, which is kind of interesting because it looks like you have white, you have black, you have 3 white, 3 black, and 3 olive. And associated markings for the tank itself. So, but interesting, white, black, and olive. You gotta look that up. And then, oh wait, oh my gosh, I almost dropped this. I'm not sure if this is part of the kit, but there's a small, little, thin white thread. I am not sure what that is going to be used for, but that did come with the kit. And I almost dropped it with the instructions. The instructions, so I laid them down here. It gives you a brief history of the tank itself, what the tank will look like. This is the part I was telling you about, the travel mode, where they remove the outer portions of that tank. They separate that out, they reconnect them, and this thing goes in the back end of the tank, minus the fuel tanks, I'm assuming. As you can see, it's so moving on. Like I said, there's a full assemble mode and this travel mode, where this travel mode is disconnected from the sides, placed in the back by tow cables, and the thing is just towed to move onto trains and or bridges and whatnot. But moving on with the instructions seem pretty clear. Oh, here we go. Our first track assemblies. Okay, there it is. This is what I was fearing. Okay, so you can see there, 100 for one side, 100 pieces. And yes, it is removed. That one pin is removed. Oh my gosh. And there's the, okay, so that's the little tooth, I believe, that we have there to connect the tracks together. Not sure what that is called, but it's a lot of pieces, ladies and gentlemen. It's a lot of pieces. But they give you a jig, a really small jig. You should have a bigger one. Over here, as I mentioned to you, yeah, that's the front fender, it looks like, with associated stuff that's on top of that. So you won't be able to see those ejection pin marks underneath there. So that's good. That's good. Okay, here's your, what looks like the wire. Do not install in travel mode, okay, because that wire is probably going to be attached to the towing cable. I'm not sure which one that is. That might be the copper one, but we'll see. Anyways, so it's a big kit. It's a big model. Here's the assembly of the fuel tanks, the mallet. I have to find out what the metal gun barrels are. So I have to look that up. It says metal gun barrel, but they don't say what size they are. So I have to look that up. But as mentioned before, let's get to the nitty gritty. There it is again. Yeah. For one side, 100 pieces. So one side, that's 400 pieces. Yikes, 400 pieces. Sorry about that. So I would recommend that you do the track literally like in maybe 2 weeks. And don't do the whole thing. You'll go insane trying to do the whole bloody thing. So that might not be a good idea. Granted, you want to finish that off, but you want to keep your sanity. Possibly even like do part of a model, do some of the tracks, maybe the first 50 or so, and continue on that way. Okay. So again, nice paper. Okay, here's a color guide. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so we have the color guide here for the models in Poland, summer 48, Kamchatka in 49, Battle of Berlin 47, which is something I'd like to do, and Korea winter 54. So, but it doesn't give you the, per se, the color markings. What color are they? Does it show it on the back? Huh. What's the colors that you use? What's the paints that you use? Am I missing something? Oh, that's it. That's the end of the page. Okay, well, there's something perplexing. Even though this is a unboxing, quick review. Where's the color guide? Yeah. What colors do you use? Eesh. That kind of sucks. All right, so I have to look into that to see what colors we're going to use for this model. All right, well, there's the unboxing of this large Takom M28A1-A2 super assault tank. Yikes, if I'm doing a review, where's the color guide? What paints do I use? Takom. Oh man, that sucks. So I have to look that up. I'm not a World War II model builder myself, so I have to see. I don't want to paint it just a green color. I like that camouflage. That looks really cool. And the idea that I want to do with this one, I think it'll be even better. Anyways, so this is M Modest for Hemo Productions. Hope you like that quick unboxing. Share, like, comment, of course, subscribe. Okay, talk to you guys later. Oh, one last thing I want to mention as well. So with that unboxing of that Takom kit, it's going to be a real job. I don't know where I'm going to keep it since I'm a ship guy myself. But what about my models? You know, where are those guys? I'm sure many people have been asking. Some of you are questioning, hey, you still with us? You still here? You know, after my wife's illness, her recovery from her cancer diagnosis, she's doing great. She's very independent now, moving along very well. I have to motivate myself. It takes a lot of motivation for me to get back to the swing of things. I do want to build. I see my stuff on the table, especially that E2 that I barely started. This E2? Oh yeah, this E2 from Heller. Yeah, that's the thing I want to show you next. That I started building before everything hit the fan. This tank, yeah, I like to build it, but I got other projects I need to build as well. So just be patient, guys, gals, my subscribers. I'm coming around. It's a matter of time. We do have Fleet Week on board to Iowa, 2026 Fleet Week during Memorial Day. I'll try to show you a little bit of that as well in one of my short video categories. Otherwise, again, it's Immodest. Hopefully you have a nice gray day, gray May Day, okay? Thank you very much for your compliments, my well wishes for my wife. I thank you all very much. And let's get cracking. Let's get building, Mo. Let's get building, okay? See you guys around.